Hey there, and welcome to the podcast. It's all about challenging the norms and flipping the script on life's toughest moments. Here, we're not afraid to embrace the mess, think outside the box, and maybe even throw some glitter along the way. Now, fair warning, this isn't your traditional guide to picking yourself up when life knocks you down. No cliches, no quick fixes. Instead, we're diving deep into what it really means to rebuild, create something new from life's broken pieces. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's talk about finding glitter in life's mosaic. I'll tell you this. Sometimes the most empowering thing you could do is break the rules and embrace the mess in ways no one expects. And for me, that meant throwing glitter, literally. But more on that in a minute. So imagine standing in a room filled with broken glass. The pieces are sharp, scattered, and overwhelming. Maybe they were once part of something beautiful, like a window, a vase, or a picture frame. But now all you see is mess. That's what life feels like sometimes, doesn't it? Something happens, whether it's a loss, a heartbreak, or a realization, and the picture you thought you were building shatters. Suddenly you're left holding the pieces, wondering how to put it back together. Here's where most people stop. They try sweep they try sweeping all the pieces, hiding the mess, and pretend everything's fine. But I've learned that the magic doesn't come from hiding the brokenness. It comes from looking at those pieces in a way no one else does. What if those broken pieces weren't something to get rid of, but something to work with? What if the mess isn't the problem, but the start of something extraordinary? I've been in that room. I've held those sharp, jagged pieces and thought, there is no way this will ever feel whole again. But here's what I've discovered: broken doesn't mean ruined, it means there's potential for something new. So, as a child, I loved glitter. Not a little, but obsessively. Glitter was magic to me, vibrant, shiny, unpredictable. I collect it, sprinkle it into crafts, and keep jars of it, right? Jars of it, just to marvel. Right? I still do. I'm an adult, and I still do it. My favorite was when the glitter got everywhere. It was like it was like it had a life of its own. So, fast forward years later, that love of glitter has become an unexpected metaphor in my life. I was sitting in my therapist's office, right, trying to explain how broken I felt. Words weren't enough. So I brought something with me. A jar of glitter, like this jar of glitter. And in the middle of our session, after explaining, I opened the jar and flung it across the floor. It sparkled everywhere: her desk, chair, even her shoes. And I said, this is me. This is what my life feels like: scattered, messy, and impossible to clean up. Throwing that glitter was unconventional. It was messy, bold, and probably not what anybody expected in a therapy session. But in that moment, it was exactly what I needed. It was my way of saying, this is my truth, and I refuse to hide it anymore. That's the thing about thinking outside the box. It's not always neat or tidy. Sometimes it looks like breaking the rules, flinging glitter, or doing something that doesn't make sense to anyone but you. And that's okay. Empowerment doesn't come from following this script, it comes from rewriting it. So, how do you start to rebuild? So, here's what I've learned: rebuilding isn't about going back to who you were. It's about creating something new, something uniquely yours. And sometimes it's about letting yourself do the unexpected. So let's think about rebuilding with radical self love. So, the first thing, acknowledge your pieces with love. When life feels shattered, it's tempting to hide the mess. But love, the kind of love that empowers you, calls us to lay everything on the table: the grief, the joy, the regrets, the hopes, to say, this is me. This is my story. Throwing glitter was my way of acknowledging my pieces. It wasn't polished or perfect. but it was real. And that's the first step, being real with yourself, no matter how messy it feels. So, out of the box thought, like, what is your glitter moment? Maybe it's journaling without censorship, painting without rules, or even screaming into the void. Whatever it is, let it be yours, unfiltered and unapologetic. Second thing, let's be honest, feeling your feelings isn't easy, but avoiding them, that just keeps you stuck. For me, trusting the process meant letting myself cry, rage, and feel the things I had avoided for years. It wasn't pretty, still isn't, and it didn't come with immediate answers. But every tear, every scream was a step towards healing. So, what if you let go of the idea that healing has to look a certain way? What if you danced, screamed, threw paint at a canvas to express what's inside? Healing doesn't have to fit a mold. It just has to be honest. So here's the truth. The glitter in your life doesn't erase the cracks. It highlights them. It shows how every broken piece, every jagged edge has a place in your story. For me, the glitter was the moment of light that broke through the darkness. Laughter and support of my friends. The small but powerful ways I found hope. Those are the pieces that make my mosaic uniquely mine. So what if you stopped trying to fix the cracks and just started celebrating them? Kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold, right? It teaches us that the cracks are part of the beauty. So what's your gold? What's the glitter in your story? When we think outside the box, we open ourselves to possibilities we didn't know existed. The broken glass moments of our lives don't have to be the end of the story. They can be the beginning of something extraordinary. So just think, where's the glitter in your life? What are the moments of love and light that remind you of who you are and how you could let those pieces shine? When we look at the broken pieces of our lives, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But love reminds us that those pieces are not the end of the story. They are part of a masterpiece in the making. Radical love invites us, right, to pick up one piece at a time, to sit with it, honor it, and let it find its place in the mosaic of who we are. So today, I invite you to choose love, not for others, but for yourself. Embrace your pieces, trust the process, and let love guide you as you create something extraordinary. Because when you step back and see the mosaic you've built, you will realize something incredible. It was beautiful all along. You are beautiful. So thank you for joining me today. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs a little glitter in their life. And until next time, keep shining, keep creating, and remember, your mess is your magic.